Alright, today we're going to take a break from doing gun and knife reviews, and we'll talk about how to make apple wine. Apple wine is something that I first heard about on homebrewtalk.com. So I used to brew beer when I lived in Japan, and now I don't have as much money as I used to, so I found this apple wine stuff. It's really cheap to make, and it gives you a 7.5% to 8% alcoholic apple cider drink. It's kind of dry. It's not like woodchuck cider or anything like that, but it's pretty good. It's really easy to make. You only need a few materials, and the more you make it, the more you'll profit off of it, pretty much, for the stuff you have to buy. So the first part of this video will be how to clean and sanitize all the equipment you'll need and all that stuff. The second part will be how to put it all together. And I hope you have as much fun making it as I did, and hope you have fun drinking it too. Alright, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk to you guys about how apple wine is made. And to make apple wine, it's pretty simple. I follow a guy named Ed Worts Recipe. So all you really need is 5 gallons of apple juice. It could be whatever you want, as long as it's 100% apple juice with no preservatives or anything. It could have like little additives like vitamin C, but I like to use this Mott's apple juice. You can use store brand, whatever's on sale, doesn't really matter. In addition to that, you need 2 pounds of corn sugar. You can get them from your brew shop or from your grocery store. I like to get them from my brew shop, so I know it's decent stuff. You need 1 packet of wine yeast. There's Monterey wine yeast from Red Star. It's like 75 cents a pack. You can get them at all brew stores. It's real cheap stuff. You can get like 5 at a time and just put them in the refrigerator until you're ready to use them. Now you need this part's kind of expensive, but if you make a lot of this stuff, it pays off. It's a 5-gallon carboy from Better Bottle. It's made out of PET material, so it's plastic, so you can drop it. It's not going to break or anything. You can get glass ones, whatever, as long as it's at least 5 gallons. You can go 6 gallons if you want. Definitely going to need one of those. You also need 1 airlock. So from when you're fermenting it, this prevents the air from getting into the mixture while it's fermenting, and it lets air escape. Because when you make any kind of alcohol product, the process that's happening is the yeast will eat the sugar, in this case apple juice and the corn sugar. When that happens, you have 2 products, CO2 and alcohol. And the CO2 has to escape through this thing. That's the purpose of this. You need sanitizer to sanitize your Better Bottle and your funnel and your airlock. I use this Star San. It's like a foaming sanitizer. It gets in all the nooks and crannies. It's a little expensive. It's used for like, beer brewing and whatnot, since I brew beer too. But this bottle will last you a long time. It's probably the best stuff that's out there, because you don't have to rinse it or anything. You need a funnel. It's a typical brewer's funnel. So most of the stuff I bought from a brew shop, but you really don't need to go that intense if you don't want to. You can just get a standard funnel from your grocery store. Cling wrap, and I'll show you what the cling wrap's used for later. A bung, this is called a bung right here. It goes over the top of the carboy, covers it up, and it also got a hole there. So you put your airlock into this hole. And this is a little additional thing that you don't really need, but it's useful. It's after you wash and sanitize this, you can put this in there and it dries it out. And for washing, I'd recommend, this isn't necessary, but before you sanitize, I wash using this stuff. It's a non-rinse, no fragrance, kind of like no frills cleaner. It's like a brewer's stuff. You really don't want to use any kind of standard soap, because it has fragrances and stuff that gets left behind that could affect the flavor of your whatever you're making. In this case, it would be apple wine. So first step is going to be sanitizing, and we'll get to that right now. Alright, first thing we're going to do before we sanitize is we're gonna wash. We're going to wash out the carboy, the funnel, the airlock, and the bung. And we'll do that by using 2 tablespoons of this stuff to 2 gallons of water. So I'll go ahead and add that in there right now. Alright, so I got the carboy right here, full of 2.5 gallons, or about 2 gallons of water. And now I'm just going to take it and shake it up vigorously. That gets it nice and clean. That should be good enough. And in the sink here, I got a plugged up sink with all my other stuff. And I'll just pour that stuff into the sink. What I have left in here. There we go. I'm going to use my carboy dryer. Set it here for the time being. And you always want to use clean sponges whenever you're dealing with new brews. So get yourself out a nice clean unused sponge and wipe all this stuff away. And I'll come back in a second. Alright, next, when you get into sanitizing, this thing, you just open it up. Open it up right here, and we're going to only add where it says a 1/2 ounce. We're going to do a little less than that. That should be about good. It's about 1/4 ounce. Because for every ounce, you have to add 5 gallons. So I only want to add, a little bit. So a 1/2 ounce would be 2.5 gallons, and actually, let's do a 1/2 ounce. There we go. We'll just put 2.5 gallons in there. And once you got that measured out, dump it into here. Then you add 2.5 gallons of hot water. Alright, now I have the 2.5 gallons of water and the star sand in there. And now you just shake it up. The star sand gets really foamy, but you don't have to worry about it. Oh, that foam. Mix it up real good. And same as before, I got all my stuff in the sink. I'm just going to pour it onto that. come back a little later. Alright, now I got all my sanitized funnel, airlock, and bung on top of the cling wrap. I put the cling wrap on top of the table. It's a clean table, but it's to make sure it's extra clean, I put the cling wrap down there. That way it can just sit there and you see it's still foamy. There's nothing wrong with that. And the carboy is also got a lot of foam in there. They say you can dump whatever you're dumping right into this foam, but I like to run a little bit of water through it and let it rinse out a little more. There will be some foam in there when I put the apple juice in there though, so we'll let that dry out and then we'll come back.